welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. This early Saturday afternoon video is going to be a wee preview of tomorrow lunchtime's game between Celtic and Hearts. First play second, although for the first time in a long time, Celtic won't be the team lying first in the table, with Hearts currently leading the Scottish Premiership by 5 points, so Celtic go into the game certainly looking to win, but certainly I think Celtic wouldn't want to lose this game. Not that I think an 8-point gap at this point in the season would be too big a gap for Celtic to haul back in the final two-thirds of the season, but obviously dropping 8 points behind does put a lot more pressure on the team and the players, etc. So in this video, we're going to have a wee look at my predicted lineup, predicted score, and one or two wee stats regarding Celtic against Hearts head-to-head, and my own thoughts as we go through regarding the various different selection issues. And just as a wee prompt, there is a poll on the David 67's community section regarding which of the four centre-back options you think is best to use to replace Cameron Carter-Vickers, who appears to be out for 3 to 5 months with an Achilles tendon injury. It's still waiting for final scans and specialist opinion, but the preliminary period out is 3 to 5 months, which would take him out at least for the rest of November, December and January, and maybe even as far as March of 2026. So, not sure whether Brendan Rodgers is doing a press conference on Saturday. He often doesn't tend to do a press conference on the Saturday if he's done press conferences on the Wednesday and the Thursday around Europa League matches. However, I did have a good look at the footage of Celtic's training session from this morning. No signs of Alistair Johnston, Dyson, Maida, Kelechi Iheanacho or Cameron Carter-Vickers, and certainly with Dyson Maida being in the stand for the game against Sturm Graz on Thursday, I wasn't expecting him to be fit and ready to play against Hearts on Sunday. And I think a much more realistic target is next weekend for the Rangers League Cup semi-final. On the basis of this morning's training and my own thoughts regarding how Celtic want to line up and replace the four players out injured at the moment, I think Brendan Rodgers will keep going with Kasper Schmeichel in goals, bring in Colby Donovan at right back. He had a great game coming on for Alistair Johnston against Sturm Graz and really deserves a long run in the team now. I think he's going to go for Austin Trusty and Liam Scales as the two centre-backs. Trusty and Scales played quite a bit together in the pre-season training games. They also played quite a bit off and on last season as a partnership, and of course had a brilliant game against Atalanta in the Champions League around about this time last year, when the two of them defended very, very well in that 0-0 away draw. I think at left back, keep going with Kieran Tierney. He had a great game against Sturm Graz. Midfield, I think he'll go again with the same three as Sturm Graz: McGregor, Hatate and Engels, using Benjamin Nygren out on the right, although with quite a free role to come inside like he did against Sturm Graz to get into the box, hopefully putting away some of the chances he didn't put away against Sturm Graz. I think at centre forward he's going to go for Johnny Kenny, although personally I would go for Shin Yamada simply for his extra pace and more experience and better striker instincts. Although, to be fair to Kenny, he got himself into good positions on Thursday, just didn't put them away, and did actually do a good job of pressurising the Sturm Graz back four. So hopefully he can keep that up against Hearts on Sunday. And out wide on the left, Sebastian Giannecchi. I think Celtic should keep on the bench a couple of good striker options, be it Yamada and Osmond, or Osmond and Kenny. Midfield two of Paulo Bernardo and Luke McCowan. Defenders Dane Murray and Marcello Sirachi. I think we need just two of our three wide players on the bench. Personally, I would go for Yang and Barlaquisha. Forrest has been in particularly poor form this season, and obviously Voyami Sinisalo as the backup goalkeeper. And I think that gives Celtic a number of different options, changing their tactics. Um, Balaquisha gives us quite a bit of versatility. He could duplicate the Negrin role. Obviously, McCowan and Paolo Bernardo have made one or two good contributions so far this season coming off the bench. And Murray gives us obviously cover at centre back. Technically, he can play also right back. Similarly, Rio Hatate has played at right back on a few occasions for Celtic. Marcello Sirachi can play on the right if required, although he's pretty much dominantly on the left. Also, we have got the option with those players of playing a back three with wing backs and overlapping fullbacks, etc. So I think it does give Celtic quite a number of different options. Gives Celtic the option to get the ball forward nice and quickly, and if Donovan and Tierney can overlap and get into the final third like they did against Sturm Graz, that does give Celtic quite a number of additional options of how to get the ball into the box, and hopefully Arnie Engels can get a few direct free kicks and corner kicks into the box like he did on Thursday for players like Trusty, Murray, Scales, Donovan, Negrin, etc. to score with headers or from corners. Now, looking at some stats of the head-to-head games between Celtic and Hearts. Celtic all-time have, in 125 games in all competitions, 87 wins against Hearts, 21 defeats and 17 draws. Celtic did lose back-to-back games against Hearts in December 23 and March 2024. Since that time, Celtic have won all four games by an aggregate of 12-1. Celtic's recent form, as we know, isn't that great in all competitions. In the last five, Celtic have 2 wins, 2 defeats, and 1 draw. Hearts actually have 5 wins out of 5 in all competitions, all of which have been league matches. So far this season, they've won 11 games and 2 draws. They've dropped just 2 points so far in the Scottish Premiership. And their other draw was against St Mirren in the League Cup, a game that they got knocked out on after penalties. And so Hearts so far this season are unbeaten. In the last 16 games, Celtic have against Hearts 14 wins and 2 defeats, those defeats being the 2-0 loss at Celtic Park in December 2023 and that rather controversial VAR ruined game against Hearts at Tynecastle, which ended 2-0 with the controversial sending off of Yang, the equally controversial penalty kick given against Tomoki Iwata. Happily, John Beaton won't be the referee on the pitch or the referee in the VAR room. As I alluded to a wee bit earlier on, this is the first time Celtic have been going to another team lying not in first place. The last time this happened was in 2022 when Celtic went to Rangers and beat them 3-0. And since that time, Celtic have not gone to another team in the league once the league's been established. Lying not in first place against the opponent. And that game in December 2023 is the last time Celtic lost 2 league matches in a row. That was a defeat to Kilmarnock, followed by the defeat to Hearts back in December 2023. And Celtic haven't lost back-to-back away games in the league since May 2023. And having said all those things, it very much does point towards Celtic being especially with their good return to form on Thursday. I would put them down as favourites for the game. I think Hearts are going to give Celtic a good battle, but I think Celtic will have, if they play near or at their best form, too much quality all over the pitch. For that reason, I'm going to go for a 3-1 win for Celtic tomorrow, cutting the gap from 5 points to 2 points. And I think over the course of the next couple of months, Celtic will keep up this good run of form and overhaul Hearts quite quickly. Get themselves also into this League Cup final by beating Rangers next weekend. So that just about finishes things off for this Saturday afternoon video. We'll be doing a post-match review of the Celtic Hearts game either on Sunday evening or more likely Monday morning. As we finish, just a wee polite suggestion, encouragement, if you are new to the channel, not yet subscribed, please do click that subscriber button. Keep the numbers pushing up through the 1400s. Even one new subscriber per day makes me just so happy that the channel's continuing to improve and get more viewers and subscribers. And as always, do pop your own thoughts, comments into the comment section, keeping things polite, respectful, and family-friendly language. What your own thoughts are regarding Celtic's lineup, the options to replace Johnson at right back, Carter Vickers at centre back, and Iheanacho at centre forward, and also the best option for playing out wide on the right. And do pop your own thoughts regarding the Hearts game and a predicted score into the comment section if you wish. And so until the next video, the post-match review of the Celtic Hearts game, good luck Celtic in beating Hearts tomorrow, and hail, hail!